Hello, everyone. Rob Goslin here, Director of Space. Welcome to our highlight reel, where we share some of our upcoming classes with you. These are just a few of the amazing modules we offer each month in space. If you're interested in more information to enroll or to vote on these courses, please check the individual links below. We look forward to seeing you in space.
Hi, my name is Carl Edlund Anderson, and I'm an instructor in Signum University's Department of Language and Literature, teaching courses on Old Norse and Germanic philology. In Signum's space program, we're starting a new cohort for a month-long module called J.R.R. Tolkien's The Legend of Sigurd and Gudrún. In this module, we'll read and discuss two poems published in 2009 but originally written in the early 1930s, right around or just before the time Tolkien began work on The Hobbit. In his poems, written in modern English but imitating the style of medieval Old Norse poetry, Tolkien reworks the legends of the Volsungs and Niflungs, which are amongst the most popular and abiding legends of the medieval Germanic-speaking and Norse worlds, but also very dear to and influential on Tolkien himself. In this module, we'll read and discuss Tolkien's poems, tracing the connections from the original medieval legends through Tolkien's retellings of them into his own fantastic fiction set in Middle-earth. And I'll look forward to you joining us for that journey in Signum's space program.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Hamish Williams and I'm a preceptor right here at the Signum University Space Program. I'm a lecturer in literary studies and related fields, history of ideas, and I'm going to be teaching this module on representing Utopia through the ages. So Utopia, that means what? A perfect place, ideal society, paradise in some senses, golden age locations, right? This is what we associate with Utopia. Utopia's got a quite negative connotation in historical political discourses in the last 100 or so years, right? We tend to think of the period 1917 to 1945 as a sort of period of failed utopian projects, failed ideological projects, right? Communism, socialism, fascism, etc. And so utopias have kind of got a bad name. But utopian narratives are very important in literary studies. They're a very important type of narrative, which we see in many different literary and non-fictional texts. And the aim of this module is basically to explore those representations of utopia, okay, and see why they're important, which is often to do with criticizing current problems in societies, okay. When we think of Thomas More's Utopia, which we'll look at, he was very much criticizing the cruel punishments and legal norms of 15th century England and Europe, and was looking for some improvement in that situation. All utopias are progressively minded. They're looking for positive developments in human society and culture, looking ahead. All their kind of philosophical thought experiments about certain ideas and ideals and virtues. Okay. So that's the why of the course. The what, so we'll be going through we'll be taking a historical tour de force of these different periods of history and looking at utopias which have been projected into those periods. So we'll be starting with the Paleolithic period and looking at ideas of sort of a hunter-gatherer utopia, especially as articulated by modern historians like Yuval Harari, and then we'll be moving. So that's like 70,000 to 10,000 BCE. Then we'll be moving to like 4,000 to 1,500 BCE and looking at a Bronze Age utopia in the form of Minoan Crete. Okay, this majestic seafaring thalassocracy, okay, which ruled the waves in the pre-classical times. Then we'll be heading to Plato's Atlantis in the classical period. This mystical, magical, powerful island which fell, okay, sunk below the seas. So we're looking at after that Virgil's pastoral utopia, a utopia of not having to work too much, anti-industrial utopia, you could say. We'll be looking at Thomas More's Utopia, which I've already referred to in the early modern period. So that's 1500s. We'll be looking at Robinson Crusoe as a kind of Enlightenment utopia, a rational utopia. and we'll be looking at Tolkien's Numenor as a modern fantasy utopia, among various other utopias. So I hope that's whetted your appetites to study this course. And if you're interested, please sign up. And I hope we can have some fun adventure through all these different paradises together. Thank you.
Hello, Space!
I'm Gabriel Schenk.
And I'm Faith Acker.
And we are in the beautiful city of Oxford, which is the setting of Sir Philip Pullman's trilogy, His Dark Materials.
And for Space, we're going to be offering a 3-module series on His Dark Materials titled His Dark Materials in Context.
So we're going to go through each of the 3 books. You can take each module on its own or in a sequence, and you can join a later module even if you haven't done the earlier modules. You're more than welcome to join us. And if you have read these books before, then you'll know how rich and deep they are and full of context and detail. And we're going to be unpacking some of that detail, looking at the influences on Pullman from the Bible, from Milton, and from Blake, as well as others.
But we'd also like to make sure to invite you, if this is your first time reading Pullman, come read Pullman with us. Talk about your questions, the problems, the issues of the stories with us and with your classmates. We're hoping to have robust discussions, and we'll go at a fairly leisurely pace so that first-time readers can follow along pretty easily too.
It's going to be lots of fun. We're very much looking forward to seeing you in space. Until then, bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Julian, and I'm here to welcome you to my Children of Dune book club. Over 2 months, we'll get together to read the epic conclusion of Frank Herbert's original Dune trilogy. It's another sweeping epic of intrigue and survival in the face of overwhelming odds. As chaos and civil war threaten the Imperium, the heirs of Paul Atreides must discover the path laid out for them and its deadly consequences. Working steadily through the book at a pretty relaxed pace, we'll catch up twice a week to chat about our readings, taking the time to geek out in good company and appreciate it together. Whether you've been reading the trilogy with us already or are just jumping in fresh, everybody's welcome to join my class. I hope you'll join me for the journey. Let the spice flow, and I'll see you in space.
Hi, I'm Sparrow Alden, and I'm a preceptor in the creative writing sector of Space. I want to invite you to the Weekend Writing Intensive. It's 48 hours during which we're going to try to take your idea all the way to a full first draft of a short story, novelette, or novella. We're going to have 8 hours of class time where I will bring everything I know about story structure and character development and hushing your inner editor and bringing that editor back out with a machete when it's time. We'll also have 8 hours of writer space when you can choose between quiet writing time in good company or the Bender Snatch Room, where we'll have discussions, peer review, encouragement on your specific project, including plenty of questions to help you fill in the spaces. If you want to join me in this encouraging and slightly frenetic environment full of really good company, please do. I want to hear your story.
Hello, my name is Isaac Schendel, and I'm an instructor for Old English, Modern German, and Middle High German with Signum University's Space Program. This month, I'm offering an iteration of Old Saxon for Old English readers, a 1-month introduction to a close relative of Old English, Old Saxon. We will be reading its most important text, an epic poem known as the Heliond, which retells the gospel story and depicts Christ as a 9th century Germanic warrior. In this course, readers of Old English will get to try their hand at a closely related language and discover a beautiful epic poem which combines Germanic warrior spirit with the Christian faith. By reading the Heliond, we can learn more about Northern European culture and improve our Old English skills while reading a uniquely beautiful text. This module will broaden your linguistic horizons and introduce you to one of the biggest monuments of the early medieval world. This course will be especially rewarding for students who have read Beowulf, the Poetic Edda, or other works of medieval literature. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in space.
Eleanor West's Home for Wayward Children has 3 rules. No solicitations, no visitors, and no quests. Hello, my name's Laurel Stevens, and I teach the space modules on Seanan McGuire's Wayward Children novella series. Now, this novella series has been nominated for a slew of awards. The Hugo, the Nebula, the World Fantasy Award. Individual novellas in the series have also won said awards, as well as the Alex and Locus Awards. They've made quite a splash in the fantasy world. As of right now, there are 8 published novellas in this series, 3 short stories, and there's 2 more novellas contracted, one to be published in January of 2024 and another in January of 2025. And each novella is a self-contained story, but the series revolves around Eleanor West's Home for Wayward Children and the school's mission. This school's mission is to accept children that have stumbled into other worlds through doors in their own world, and then manage to come home, only to find out that home isn't quite what they remember, and they don't feel like they belong. They can't adjust and reorient themselves back into the world from which they were born. So instead, as a last-ditch effort from both the children and the parents, they end up at Eleanor West's. Now, with portals, called doors in this series to other worlds, the opportunity for varied settings is boundless, not to mention a wide host of characters coming in and out throughout the entire novella series. And with 8, there's quite a lot of potential. The very first one introduces you to a murder mystery. Every Hearted Doorway not only brings you to Eleanor West's, but it gives you a lot of the characters that you see actually recur throughout the series. The second one, Down Among the Sticks and Bones, switches genre a bit, gives you some gothic vibes. Beneath the Sugar Sky gives you an entire new concept of a Candyland adventure. And on the series goes. So this series is rich in discussion material, and I'm really looking forward to diving into it with the modules of anyone who decides to take this course with me. It's going to be a mix of both lecture and discussion, as I present some of the genre and discussion points throughout the book, and then let everyone take their time. I can't wait to explore the universe of Wayward Children with you, and I will see you in space.
Hello, I'm Liam Daley. I'm a faculty member here at Signum University, and this course is Shakespeare's Epic Fairy Tales. 2 terms that might appear to be slightly anachronistic when applied in this context, but I think that really get at the heart of what it is that people genuinely love about the 2 plays we will be reading in this course. So first you've got Pericles, Prince of Tyre, a play that could be described as the Odyssey meets the Princess Bride, as narrated by the Middle English poet John Gower, who wrote the tale on which Shakespeare based the play and who appears as narrator on stage in Shakespeare's adaptation. A tale of magic and island hopping in the ancient Mediterranean. And then we're going to read Cymbeline, one of my absolute favorite Shakespeare plays. A princess tries to rid herself of the suitor she loathes to be with the man that she loves, and in consequence there's near escapes, pursuits, mistaken identities, a little light geopolitical conflict, and some supernatural apparition. So these are both plays that have really come under fire by literary critics at various times over the past couple of centuries. I think in large part because the plots are so over elaborate, over the top, mixing comedy and tragedy in ways that are often kind of goofy a little bit. But honestly, that is exactly what I love about these plays. Never get tired of talking about them. Both feature grand voyages across land and sea, benevolent magic, the lost and recovery of true love. I mean, what more could you ask for? Can't wait to talk about them. Hope you can join.